Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Chris Knerr, Chief Digital Officer of Synity, a world leader in enterprise data software, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers to bring you this series of interviews with thought leaders in data and analytics. Today, I have the great pleasure of talking with Piyush Palkar, Chief Data Officer, Analytics, AI, and ML-driven innovations at Carsome. Piyush is the Malaysia ambassador to CDO Magazine and joins us today from Carsome HQ in Kuala Lumpur. Welcome, Piyush. Happy to have you on the show today.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to talk to you.
So I'm curious in that, like you shared some great examples in your platform. How you're using purchase checklists. We talked about the thing with the images. Like, what do you see in your industry as being, some of the future innovations that can happen that are going to be data driven in kind of the scaling AI and ML space?
I mean, I would say that I am really interested in seeing the autonomous vehicles kicking in, and revolutionizing the whole transportation and automotive industry. Obviously, the levels are going to increase, and once we reach at that stage that this entire industry is driven via super AI and ML things, it's going to increase the automations, and it's going to open the door of opportunities for other things to improvise and improve them as well. So we're really interested to see all those things scaling up as well in the automation.
Just occurred to me, and it may or may not be a relevant idea. I mean, do you envision kind of within the construct of correct data privacy, essentially being able to almost like X-ray what happened to a particular car and adjudicate its price based on what may have physically happened to that car and different owners, like while anonymizing that data and putting it under a rubric of data protection?
Yeah, so I would say that AI inspection and all is getting at its pace, and we are, I would say that we are also looking into all these solutions in which we would be able to detect damage and all those things by clicking pictures. And also there is a vast amount of research going in this area. So there are a lot of companies who are building products to automate this entirely. Even listening to the engine noise to basically score the engine and tell you that how basically the engine performance is doing, so that you can use these as the parameters and then decide the price of the car. So all this is going to be used as a parameter to then fix the price of the used car that is going to go out.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And for anyone who may not know, like this whole like sound baseline is a really interesting area in AI, and I'm more familiar with how it's been deployed in factories. So essentially, like a factory has a characteristic background sound with some common cause variation in it. So if you measure that over time, if the noise changes, then it's an indication that something's changed and it may be something wrong. And there's really interesting work that's being done in that, sort of common cause, special cause, massive data modeling of sound profiles. So that's an interesting example. So, but as we always like to say, right, us data geeks, like more data and more places being used in more interesting ways.
It's all about capturing and using it in the right way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Piyush, thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation today, and it was. I think we touched on a lot of different things. I really like this theme, and I definitely would encourage our folks in our audience who either have never worked in a big company or who've never worked in a startup, to sort of look at that kind of balanced roadmap planning agenda that I think we had, really interesting discussion about today.
Thanks, Chris. Enjoyed this.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.